We
And
should be able to see what people are saying on Instagram, is what you're saying?
We're going to find out because I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha.
Because it's been a hot minute since I've done it this way. All right, so we are now live, and then I can click go live on Instagram. And we are now live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And then comments won't show up unless the stream is public on Facebook by default. It's friends only. We should be able to see the YouTube comments, and then we're going to see if the Instagram comments come in through StreamYard, or if we're going to have to, or I'm going to have to see them from Instagram, and then we'll talk about them. So we'll see what happens. All right, we got a couple people joining us. Hi, my lovelies. Long time no see.
Hello, hello, whoever it is.
Oh, Cody said, hey, everyone.
Hello, randoms.
All right, so basically we're here to talk about last weekend's event, which was Drifters of December. DOD as we short version, shorten it, however we want to say it. And just kind of talk about the difference that, you know, everyone had kind of like their own, what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody had their own adventure and experience.
Our own perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, Rachel, why don't you go first? Because you've been to DOD, but you actually got to do the skid pad, which we rarely ever have, which Ryan made sure that we had.
Thank God.
And you got to run around in Doug for the weekend.
I definitely Doug wasn't ready for anything other than skid pad, that's for sure.
And who is Doug? For everybody who doesn't know?
Oh, sorry. Doug is the drift car E46 shit box I have. Yeah. That would be correct, right, Ryan?
I guess temperamental.
I've seen it. It's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has its good, good side.
Ryan's
ugly side.
Just not the underside. It's not the good side.
Just we've all met Doug.
If you look inside, you know, interior wise, we're good. The engine bay, that's good too. Under the car, it's not horrible, but it's not, you know, it's fine. It's a Northeast car.
So, how did you feel about the skid pad? It was my first time seeing Potomac. I had never seen Potomac. I knew it existed. That was about
good layout. Yeah, it was a good layout. It was you know, it was big. It was wide open. There's literally, I mean, listen, if you were able to find the one wall of like K-rail, then you really suck. Like really suck.
You were aiming for it, right?
Yeah, you were like you were like hyper focused on, you know, being out there. That's way out there.
Yeah.
Way out there.
Yeah. Oh, Cody joined us on YouTube, so you guys can actually see his comments from YouTube. You should be able to see it in StreamYard.
Where's that? Down below?
It's a great skid pad, and the asphalt is actually, I think it's better than the Washington.
Oh, it's great asphalt.
Because
it's like brand new.
Grip. And I don't know, I was top and third gear out in my car, not a problem on the skid pad, which is flying. So I really like the Potomac pad. It's a lot of fun.
I thought it was interesting that a lot of people were going there to shake loose first, as opposed to going like to Washington, you know, and running around that.
Good safe warm-up spot though, you know.
Cody, your 5 laps for a set of tires, was that, are you referring to the skid pad, or are you referring to a particular circuit? That was the word I was looking for. I'm doing great today. All right, well, we'll let Cody get back to that. But I was surprised because there were a lot of people. He said, October Potomac, he said he was getting 5 laps for a set of tires for him. Cody, you were the one who had commented about tires, if I remember correctly, on Facebook. I think I had Ryan comment on that actually. What tires did you end up going with, out of curiosity?
Cody was drifting his friend's LS swapped BMW.
Yeah.
Okay. 651s for tires.
5 laps in that car seems about right. That car was laying down some serious smoke.
I actually have absolutely no clue what car Cody was in. I don't have any clue as to who was in however many of the cars.
What car that was? It was the one with the giant dinosaur hanging out the side.
That's Kenny's car, correct?
Kenny, yeah. Can't miss it.
So that's the green one with like the orange plexi
Green.
or whatever in it. Okay. Now we're all on the same page.
There it is. Yeah, Kenny.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Potomac, you ran through it. Brew and I showed up at one point in time to check on you. I was like, I have to go see Rachel. I was like, I'm a horrible bestie.
He did. He got in the passenger seat with me because I was having some steering issues where the car kept plowing regardless of playing with settings on the coils and playing with air pressures. I'm pretty sure it's a power steering rack failure at this point because the car would do the thing and I wouldn't do anything differently, and then randomly it would just kind of like bind up and just plow straight, and then I would unwind the car and try to reinitiate the car. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work so well. I tried many different approaches. Brian gave me a bunch of different things to try. I tried more of like a straight line approach instead of entering, doing like a feint to flick the other way to then flick the long sweeper. Sometimes I was able to do it. The car would allow that. Sometimes it just wasn't gonna allow that whatsoever. Yeah, Brian's in the seat. He's yelling clutch kick. He's yelling all the things. I'm doing all the things. He sees I'm doing all the things. And, Doug the drift car had something else in mind. So,
well, you ended up having to replace the front tires too, right?
yeah, that's super weird too. The passenger side front tire belted.
Yeah.
It was very badly belted on that passenger side, and the front side wasn't really there. So it was interesting.
No. Yeah, only the passenger side. Yep, weird. But maybe an LS, so you fucking behaved, and we'll just have to get after it.
Well, and you broke something too. Not axle. Was it axle? Okay.
So Chris, aka Quaker Boy, I had him hop in the driver's seat. He could swing his E46 around, no problem, right? No question about it. He's got a stock motor in it. He like whatever, right? So I was like, Chris, get in the driver's seat, drive this thing. I don't know what's going on. So he was like, oh, this is super weird. And I think it was like lap 2 or 3. And we came around the sweeper and the car was plowing, and then went to unwind it and reinitiate and flick it. And it just went boop, axle gone.
Well, you got it fixed and back up and running though.
Yeah. Got a lot of laps in. So all Sunday too. So it was good.
Good. Because you haven't had a lot of seat time in that yet, correct?
No, not at all. Nope. Back in October, I trailered the car to Lebanon Valley in New York, and I got about 18 laps before the car acted up. So, funny enough, it didn't do any of that binding in the power steering rack or anything like that. So, but I did notice it was leaking. I probably should have changed it before I went to DOD, but it wasn't leaking horribly, so I didn't think anything about it.
Okay. So, my brew boo, you had time on Maine. How is that? Because you were.
Maine's exciting, and I'm trying to take hints from my rye guy over here, and just do the thing. Just send it. Just you can't learn without pushing yourself and moving forward. So that's exactly what I did. I tried it maybe, I don't know, 5 times last year, and I probably did it 10 to 12 laps this year. I still feel that I'm underpowered, and again, ask Ryan, like, what do you think? And I definitely have other things to work on other than, don't even say it. I know what you're going to say. Mine is the first thing you're going to say. Fourth will be where I'm going to try to push next year. I have power coming, and we're hoping fourth gear is the thing that keeps me drifting, especially around that back stretch. Because boy, that's
Yeah, you need a lot in that back stretch.
a little bit, or a lot of to the floor and no lift.
Yeah. Yep.
You were definitely more full send this weekend than you usually are. I was impressed because I was like, look at you doing more. I like it.
It's because I have a transmission that works properly now. Rev limiter now, so I'm not worried about blowing the car up at 7, 8, 9,000 RPMs. Yeah, it's getting easier to rely on the car to do what it needs to do than.
So Damon, I don't know how to pronounce whatever that last name is. I'm not going to attempt it. Was that your first time on Maine? Looked awesome, and the ride along was a blast for the first time on Maine. Looks like you gave somebody a ride along.
Damn, and that was probably no. Like I said, last year was my first time on Maine. Damn, I can't remember when we did it, but it was probably only the third or fourth lap of the weekend on Maine. So, yeah, it wasn't very much. Like I said, I didn't hit Maine as much as I wanted to, but yeah,
but you tried it, so that's good.
On Instagram, Lewis says, all I need, it's power to be able to push third. And Cody said, different Cody, says that Maine was so sick, lots of commitment, was very rewarding once you link it.
Yeah. That's probably my friend Cody with the maroon 350Z that was pitted with us and came down with us from Connecticut. Yeah. I was riding with him on Maine, and his car kept gripping up, but just needed to air it up a bit, and I'm sure he ripped it after that. We took off back to Connecticut and left him to shred.
Nice.
Yeah, because you guys had to get moving on Sunday so that you could get back at, I'm going to say at a decent time, but like what, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.?
1. Yeah. 1. We were back at the shop at 11:30, unloaded my car and everything. Left the shop somewhere around 12:30. I think I got home at 1. Yeah.
What did you get into? You have leaves on your head. Yes, Daniel, meow every time. It's like he knows we're having a live and he needs to participate every time.
Every single one. Always.
So my brew boo, you had a little bit of an oops. What happened?
We'll talk about that later. Right? How was your huh?
I think she wants to talk about it now.
I think so. It kind of sounds like a now thing. Yeah.
That was Sunday. Right. Come on. I thought we were trying to get here so we can go home.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we want to talk about it. I wasn't there. I missed it.
Oh, other Cody says he's to blame.
I've gotten several messages from all the boys on that corner that are like, "Sorry, dog." I'm like, it's not y'all. It's not y'all. We've never placated y'all while you're out there. I was trying to be hot boy, show off a little bit, and
you hot boyed it.
I hot boyed right into the padded concrete. That's what I did. Yep.
Ooh.
It threw me 180
on Maine.
No, this was on Shenandoah. All the guys are always on Shenandoah, like doing this, and
Yeah.
The boo crew.
So you got big balls. You got big balls. That's what happened. You're like, I'm going to show you guys.
They grew 3 sizes too large, and then they popped, and I went right into this or into the wall. Yeah, I smushed the rear just a little bit. We'll be back for next year. No worries. It'll get fixed.
It didn't look horrible. I think Ryan said that you might need a little bit of framework, but it didn't look horrible from like quick glance.
Praise him for that, because he came over to me and what did you say, Ryan? Come on. Tell it.
Let's hear it.
Everybody needs to hear this.
He's got something.
I said, dust yourself off. Everybody crashes. And now you don't have to worry about wrecking it because you already wrecked it. Go enjoy your car.
Yeah, go enjoy your car. That's right.
That's a big part of it. You know, when you go out and go drifting, you have to be your own cheerleader, and you have to be able to dust off, because crashing is a part of it, and you just go, oh well, and self back off, because otherwise, if you stop, that stay in your
Yeah.
and
How did I look?
hard, you have to push yourself to continue.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How did I look when I came
in my lap right now?
You looked happy when I saw you, but I wasn't.
No, I meant before that. When you told me, when you gave me those words of wisdom, when I pulled the car in, how did I look?
Oh, you look like you were ready to put it on the trailer, and you were 100% defeated.
100% was what I was going.
I was like, quit moping, dust yourself off, and get right back on.
Yep. And I will say,
you went back out.
Yeah, went right
back
out.
Nice.
I checked on a few things.
You ended up having another issue later, though, right? Because you were on Washington when I lost track of you.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the crash and probably tons of laps on Washington and tons of times going over the rumble strips and that rock that's on Washington that I'm going to take out and rip that thing out myself. Something rubbed the oil cooler line open, and so I started oil everywhere. So I was like, all right, now it's time to call it a day. Two things go wrong like this? Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
My car ran out of gas, so I put it in the trailer. Out of gas, we're going home.
There you go.
Okay.
Cody said I felt so bad after that I didn't wave at anyone.
Cody, brother, I told you it's not. It's just.
Was he one of the spectators? Was he?
Yeah, they were all.
He's part of the boo crew where, like, when you go past, all the guys are like egging people on.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got sent a nice video of that, so I'll have that to remind myself whenever I need to.
I believe that. I believe that. And then other Cody, Maroon Cody, we'll call him. He said once the rear tires had more pressure, he said I got it down.
Yeah, I figured. Well, I think he told me later, or not. I think he told me later. Text me. He's like, "Man, you should have been in the car. It was ripping instead of gripping, the way we like it."
Yeah, fair.
I didn't. I'm guilty of just driving Maine. I drove the Potomac pad a few laps to test the car, and then the rest of the weekend I spent on Maine because we only.
I think that's understandable. Yeah.
And I spent the rest of the weekend there. Which
talk about the vert. You put a new motor in the vert. I know. Did you drive that at all? Did you do any laps in it?
No, put a new motor in the vert and it misbehaved. So I am now vert's back outside on the trailer, and it's going motor taken back out of it again. So sometimes.
Well, if I remember correctly, you were working on the vert right up until right before the day of the event, weren't you?
Yeah, it was on the dyno Thursday, and then it was at the track Friday. So
yeah.
It's like Lime Rock all over again.
Unfortunately,
it's like Grid Life all over again.
Because
crunch time.
Our Cody would like to know: are they only going to have Maine for DOD in the future? I mean, we've brought it up multiple times. I don't know if that's ever going to change. And my understanding, and Ryan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is Maine's usually rented for a lot of other events, which is one of the reasons we've never had it for anything other than DOD.
They used to do a rivals weekend, but they didn't get the turnout that the track needed to make sense. So yeah, we're pretty much just going to get it for DOD, and we're pretty hard on the track as far as any other motorsports or training they're having. We rip the grass up. There's no sugarcoating it. Like
Yeah.
Driving there since 2009. I put 2 tires in the dirt. Guilty. It's hard on the track, and I think a lot of people go, well, who cares if it's just grass and dirt? Well, it's grass and dirt that's on the asphalt, and then the very next weekend would be, let's say, motorcycles. Probably not ideal. So we get it at the end of the year. I think in reality, that's probably all we'll ever get is the end of the year.
Okay.
Yep, that makes sense.
Cody's asking also, what is the advanced days? I don't know what that means.
So those are going to be driver training days. The track is adding some more Potomac pad days.
That's awesome.
A weekend, and it's Washington. It normally sells out. It hits the cap, and we have to add people. So we obviously, as a community, we're thirsty for skid pad style events. So the track is going to offer multiple different days of skid pad driving on Potomac, which is really cool. Before it was kind of like mostly government training and we weren't allowed to go over there, but it's now Summit has opened it up for drifting, and you'll see more stuff done over there. And Kathleen wants a place where we're going to have certain weekends for different groups of driving, where we're going to have some driver instruction. It's not going to be just for people that have never driven. It's going to be for people that have driven for years that want to try to make that next step. Or, yeah, I got my caged car. Now I have to tandem and I'm not comfortable. Well, what a great place to learn and get comfortable with tandems out on the Potomac pad. So I think you'll see more information. All that's pretty
Or
fresh.
maybe you're new, you've only done footwork and you've never grabbed the handbrake even if your car has one, right? So it's a good place to learn that too.
Yeah, it is. And
I personally want nothing to do with the fucking handbrake right now. Brian tried to introduce me to it. He's like, just do this. Just go and then clutch kick and then grab that. And then I was like, okay.
I told her speed. Speed is what we need.
Well, at first you told me I had too much speed when you were watching.
You had too much speed in a weird. Well, it looked like it from where I was sitting, but then once I got in the car, I was like, oh, "This isn't that bad. It's just."
Yeah, from the outside, it was like Speed Racer. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So, go ahead, Ryan.
All that schedule for the Potomac pad and extra days on top of our regular DN scheduled stuff. The schedule, I think, pretty much stayed the same from last year to this year. But these Potomac days got added, and they're on Motorsport Reg. And when Kathleen makes a decision like that, she's going to do it. So she's
that's awesome.
Hard, which I think will be great. I really think that our community will come out those days, and I think it'll be a ton of fun.
Do you think it'll be 1 day, 2 day? What do you think?
I think if you go on Motorsport Reg, there's going to be days that are going to be different lengths, and she's trying to control the cost and make it easier for people to come out and run their car. So I'm not 100% on the price, so I'm not going to say anything, but it's going to be like the end. And she's trying to make it fun for people. I think her schedule on it was, instead of 9 to 5, it's going to be like 10 to 3. And the cost will be significantly less. And it's just going to be about going out and enjoying your car and having fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Cody said he noticed it when the email for his DOD registration. He didn't know what it was.
Yep.
So at least it's being pushed somewhere.
All that stuff's on Motorsport Reg, which, I love the track. They're like, oh yeah, we got our whole schedule on Motorsport Reg. I'm like, yeah, no one reads that. Nobody.
Yeah. After I got my DOD registration, I was like, I don't need to go in email for any. So I've never seen it. Guilty. I look for Instagram or something to say there's things going on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Basically, if Instagram doesn't say it, it doesn't exist.
which I know it kills Kathleen. She spends so many hours, going through and
Background on what being part of the actual like running of the event looks like.
So
Hi, Maddie.
The sigh.
I've done this since 2009, and I think the first DoD was December 6th, 2009, and Jens Scott, which is the Bill Scott's son, he kind of pushed have drifting at Summit, and he came up with this crazy idea of opening all the tracks and running them all day. And originally, DoD was only a 1-day event, and over time, it got big enough where it grew into a 2-day event. And it was actually, I thought, obviously being an old head, I thought it was really cool having him there at the drivers' meeting. I cold called him. I hadn't talked to him in probably a decade, and I told him what we were doing. I told him we were trying to push to have we wanted to have over like 360 cars. I think we ended up having over 400. And Dan called him, and we peer pressured him out to come. And having Jens there, I thought was really special. But yeah, the whole thing is a lot of pieces, and working with the track is, it's very difficult, not because they don't want to be helpful, but there's so many things going on at that facility that there's a lot of moving parts. We have so much training and military, you name it, it's being done up there. So it's interesting, and the track works really hard to make all that happen for us to even have the event. So
Sure.
It's a lot. It really is.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot of behind the scenes logistics that nobody even thinks about, right? Because a lot of people don't even know that like there's military training that happens there at all. Everyone just thinks it's a racetrack and like what could be so
Yeah.
hard, right? It's a controlled environment.
Of asphalt that no one cares about, and it's like totally not. Like, I got there and there's places I'm not allowed to go to, and I'm just like, okay, well, we're gonna wait till 6 o'clock to cone tracks because we're not allowed over there yet.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I think next year I'm going to punish myself less and only drive on Sunday, because I tried to
Yeah, it's
drive
probably smart.
and it's just a lot. But
Well, you also set up and ran the party as well too. So
Hmm.
that in and of itself is a feat to try to get that much put together in such a short period of time.
Yeah,
it is,
bravo, really.
and
Like you
I'm not.
killed it, and everyone loved the party. And a lot of people
I had a
don't
good
know
time.
that
So
there's a lot of people, or probably everybody, that doesn't know that you're the one that like solely puts
yeah,
that on,
yeah.
not anybody else.
I take what little sponsorship money I have through the year, and I squirrel away money from my awesome sponsors like Fluid Dampener and Apex Films and Sunshine Control, and I take a little bit out as I go through the year, and I stack it up, and I pay for that party because I think it's really fun to have a gathering at the racetrack and have a chance for
Mhm.
everyone to talk.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that I want to keep working on, and I want to keep bringing people together. I think it's really cool to sit down and talk to the media people, talk to the corner workers, talk to the other
Hmm.
Yep.
drivers. When you're at the track, you don't get to have that exchange. I mean, you get to have this
No.
one if you do this, or if you go online, but to have that face to face, I think is really important. And then
Hmm.
I had the grillers come out, and I don't know if
They were
everybody got
so fun. Oh my god, they were so fun.
hysterical, and they're
Yeah.
enough enthusiasm that I didn't have to have any, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And
My
they're
son was so excited about the sticker that he got. Like it was
Yeah.
in his pocket. Like the next day, he's like, "Did I show you this?" And I'm like,
I got
"No,
yeah,
but I
yeah, yeah.
promise you, I saw it."
did you have to dance
They
for it, or was it given to him nicely?
I have no idea.
Well,
So I caught they launched the hot dog at me, and I had my cup in my arm, and it landed between the straw and like my chest on top of the cup. And they gave me a sticker because of that.
they are hilarious. I
Yeah.
definitely I got to keep those boys on a leash, because like I'm like, hey, I want to get you guys involved. I really want you to come up and do this. I'll take care of everything. Please come up and do this. They're like, we're 100% about it. And they're like, what do you think of fireworks? And I'm like, no. And they're like, what do you think about hot dog cannon? I'm like, no. Like,
oh yeah, they're wild. They're so much fun.
So
if you gave them free reign, there'd be a lot of fuckery for sure. Yeah, lots of fuckery. No doubt.
Are fucking. I love the three of them are just perfect together, and they did a great job. They cooked 330 hot dogs.
Yeah, amazing.
I believe that.
Amazing.
I believe that every time I looked over, they were launching a hot dog somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
So next year, am I buying 450 hot dogs a week?
Right.
So, all right, but we're going to be adjusting, and in each year we keep getting more and more people come out.
Yeah.
And, a lot of our pro drivers and invited drivers, they come to the party. It was really fun. Jimmy came out and spent some time there, and we just have a great time. And the cider and s'mores. I think we ate 600 marshmallows.
Holy shit. 600. That's a lot of marshmallows. Yeah.
So we had a good time. We burned a half a cord of wood in one weekend. So
yeah,
we did a good job down there, and I think everyone enjoyed it. I did. I had fun.
Yeah. Everyone enjoyed it. Everywhere you looked around, everybody was smiling and having fun. Yeah.
I had a great time. I actually even got to participate. Actually, Brian and I both did. We got to participate in Drew's birthday camera cake that upsoar. So Shar made the cake. And so Shar and Laurent come walking with his cake. I'm like, who's loved right now, sir? And I'm like, I got my cell phone out, like taking video. Bruce eating cake with his gloves on. I'm like, I don't know what's happening anymore. There's just a lot happening. But
yeah. But yeah, Ryan. But yeah, Ryan, back to your point about the party, right? Like everybody goes and pits and paddocks with their friends, right? And Summit Point as a whole is just a massive property. So you'll never see, there's so many people that I never even saw. And then I see on Instagram like that they were there, or I knew they were coming, but I just never ran into them just because.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's even like from a media perspective for this event. I can't track everybody down. And I actually messaged Rachel, Ryan, Brew, I think Callaway, and Danimal. He's in the chat with us at the moment. I'm like, I don't know what to do with anything that I shot because I have video, I have photos, but I find my photos, nobody pays attention to them when I post them anywhere. So I'm like, why do I keep doing photos? And then I have all this video and I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Like, because I didn't go with any intention of what I was shooting, because working on the Jeep and the trailer situation, I didn't go, hey guys, I'm coming, make sure you book me before I get there. So I'm just kind of like free floating and wandering the event, just grabbing whatever. And now I'm like, I don't know what to do with any of this. So I'm probably going to be a lazy editor and take Ryan's advice and just slap all the clips into a YouTube video and then go find your shit,
go find your shit.
Yeah.
Definitely don't toss it out. You took it, use it.
Yeah. Well, I always keep it, but it's so very often I don't touch all of it. Like I have a bunch of it, and like if I think something's like cool, I might put something together, but at some point in time I got to either dial it down or like figure out how to crank it out a little bit more. Let me go through a couple of comments here real quick and then we'll get back to it. See, Dan, I got a year-end email from Summit with next year's schedule. Yeah, I saw that one too. I haven't looked at it yet, of course, but I saw it. Because they have to have that put together before the previous year is over. And then Ryan, have you ever been in the cave? Somebody else mentions that to me over the weekend.
I'm not. Cave? What's the cave?
If I'm not paid, I'm not going in a cave. No.
There's a cave on the property?
Oh, you name it, it's on the property.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
I've been in a cave.
I used to do all that stuff. I mean, I grew up on the property in reality. My dad Started racing in
Yeah.
'84, and I was born in '87. So I grew up at the track, and I've definitely seen the track change over the years. I know when I was really young, they still had a motocross track. I used to go ride my bike on that. I thought it was awesome. But no, I've never been in the cave. I know where it is, but I've never been inside of it. Nope.
Okay.
Hmm.
Madison said that she had a friend come spectate and almost got onto Jefferson where they were practicing. I'm guessing she meant pit maneuvers. So she said we
Oh.
always double check where we're supposed to be. And then Cody said thank you for the party, and he got a Glizzy sticker. And he said, I got the sticker for not making Ryan's golf cart go faster.
Yes, the golf cart.
Good old golf cart. Things a
Dan agreed
unit.
that the cake was tasty. Cody said we had beer pong back on the Shenny pit and had a bunch of people randomly show up. You guys are always my party spot. Like if I really like wanted to go like figure out what trouble to get in, like I already know where to go. I already know where the RV is. You know
Go
what I
find
mean?
Cody.
Well, that whole group. Maddie says, I have a photography page, but don't post because I feel everything gets scrolled by. I mean, Maddie, I get it. I mean, I do this stuff regularly, and it's so very rare that I even get like whether it's a photo or multiple photos that get like even like over 100 like likes. And the reason I use that marker is because very often it's like 20 people, 30 maybe if I'm lucky. And it's just like, why do I keep doing this to myself? It's like, quit spending the time there. But it's like at the same time, I want to get better at the car photography. I'm not very good at photographing cars. Somehow I ended up being a little bit better at taking video of cars, but I don't seem to be great at photographing them, or I over edit them kind of deal. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm over it at this point.
I'm gonna put the screws to you because I think all those media people that come out and take those photos, even if you don't like them, you should post them because I know there's guys out there that are on their fourth, fifth, sixth event that have never got a picture of their car, and
See, you're right.
that is a big bummer. And I know that some of that is earned, right? Getting media of your car, some of that is earned, right? Have you put the time into to demand that respect of someone's time and camera, where your driving is at? But I love it when people post, and I'm gonna probably mess up the name. Is it Spooky or Stooky Media?
Stooky
kills it. They put up like 300 photos, right?
Good God.
I love that because I know at some point someone found a picture of their car that they wouldn't have had, and I really like that.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
only
why
saw one picture of my car so far. I saw it tonight. I was like, way in the back. I see it by the trailer.
That's I'm guilty of it. I build my cars. I want my cars to look a certain way, and I'm sure when you take a picture, you want it to look a certain way, and if it doesn't meet your standards, it's getting axed. But that picture difference of someone in reality continuing to drift, and that's really the power of social media and the media that come up there. It pushes drifting in a direction that it wouldn't be without it, and it's so important.
You're right.
And I don't disagree with any of that. I think the hard part is bridging the time, because I'm not great at bulk editing. I have gotten better at it because I keep trying different things. But I take too long to edit because I have a hard time making that separation between like blow and go and art. Like I always want it to look like art when I edit it, and I can't do that to 1,500 photos that I shot, and maybe like 50 to 100 of them are worth looking at. And then the other drawback is that I don't always intentionally shoot photos. I did shoot some photos because I'm going to say I got stuck on Washington because I went over with Brew, and then there were like, ride along, ride along, ride along, ride along. And I'm like, thank God I had my camera because I don't know what I would have done with myself. But those were intentional photos. And those are decent. But very often what I do is as I'm taking video, I'm taking like a screen grab as I'm taking the video. And they're not great. You know, they're grainy, they're really noisy. Maybe I could make them look like film. And then like I go through this whole thought process and loop, and I'm like, meh. It's like, do I want to spend my time there? And it's really tough because so often media doesn't get paid at these events. Now, whether that's because they didn't market themselves well enough or whether the money's just not there. And the media people have conversations all the time in the background. One of the things that Ryan's talking about with like what the car looks like, when you have a car that looks like it's supposed to be there and it's dialed in, everybody wants to take a photo of that car, right? So that's why you have that group of people that don't necessarily get a photo because they've got 4 different panels that are 4 different colors, or the bumper's falling off, or, you know, they don't have a hood, whatever it is. A lot of media people are going to skip that. I will still shoot it, whether that's video or whether it's photo, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to get to those photos because there's no want or desire from the person that I shot. One, because they probably don't know that I shot it. And 2, if I go and take the time to do the edit and push it out somewhere, then you have to factor in the social media aspect of it as well too. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. All right, you guys go. I'm going to go back through comments.
Well, I think going along with your point there, one of the big things is just most people don't think to mass upload, like what he was talking about with Stookie. And I think that Cody just said it in one of the comments that goes along with it, that, you know, as a driver, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. No. As long as you have a photo, like, you know how good that feels. I'm sure Ryan knows this, and Ryan gets thousands of pictures taken of his car. How good it feels Monday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, whatever it is, a week later, when we get that, you know, request, or when we see it, you know, in 15 other photos or 300 photos, we see our pictures in those photos. It makes us feel good that we're out there. We're not just doing it just for ourselves, or just, you know, just to be out there. It's good that other people notice it too and post pictures, videos, whatever they are. And it makes us feel good about that as well. Like, it's just good to see.
Yeah,
Brian, you could speak to it on both ends because you started off as media before you became a drifter, so you understand both sides.
That's why I love all of my people out there. I will go up to every single one of them, hug them, shake them, whatever it is, because I understand what it takes to sit out there all weekend long.
Yeah,
you know, you're getting paid or you're not getting paid, and you know. As a photographer, as a cinematographer, it feels great when you put a product out and somebody enjoys that product and you get the good view, get the, you know, the thanks, man, all this is really great. Or, you know,
you get the hype in the comments, and
hype in the comments, or you get, you know, a drifter that's like, oh my God, I have to have that. Please. What do you want for it? You know, like that's one thing we should also be pushing too is, you know, you should be paying media whenever you're out there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Or at least
I agree.
At the bare
I think paying the media is tough depending on the space. Because pricing's all over the place. It's very convoluted. And because you have your new people that are either charging nothing or they're charging so minimally that the people that have been doing it for a long time, have the experience and have the value, might get overlooked, and somebody will just take like the lesser photo if it's a lesser photo. And I hate to say it that way, but sometimes that's what happens. You know, and I think the tough part is if you look at what the guys put into their cars. I know how much you guys spend on your cars because I talk to you guys often, you know, between tires, between the cost of the event. Well, your media people are like at the bottom of that pay list. So it's just this weird, odd space to be in. So you either have to love it enough that you're just going to keep showing up, or you're only going to last so long before you're gone. or you're just so exceptionally good, everybody's like, here, take my money.
Yeah.
I would like to get there. That's where I would like to get to.
With the back to the point of our party, it's about building community with the drivers, media, with the crew running the event. It needs to be a family, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with that. Because,
Yeah,
like I said, there's only two things that really separate drifting from all other types of motorsports. One, it's new enough that younger people are doing it, and we have media. All right, so that's one huge step up over road racing or dirt racing. Those
yeah,
guys
fair.
fall, and they are trying to basically, copy, cut, paste of all the drifting playbook that's been going on for years now. And then the other thing is the ride along. And those two things are so important. We got to make sure that
Ride along is big time. Big
our
time. We have to give exposure for sure.
and our media people are taken care of, and that's why I think that party on Saturday night is so important to get everyone together,
Agreed.
do something as a community.
Well, the party was nice too because really the people I spent the most amount of time with weren't the drivers I would normally spend time with. It was actually my media friends that I don't get to spend a lot of time with. I get to say hi and hug them a lot of times. Okay, love you, bye. And then we go do like all the things that we're supposed to do for the day. And then I'm lucky if I see them leave. Like I give Callaway a hard time. I call him Mr. Hit It and Quit It because he'll get there. I'll get a hug from him and then he leaves and I never knew he left.
Well, all the media is like, you guys gotta start uploading your content,
Mhm.
everything you took that day, and start pushing it out there. And like anyone who's doing media, immediately the track goes cold, they want out. Like they
Yep.
gotta go get to work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm going to go back to the comments for a hot second. Danimal said, video retention drives me nuts. Dan, welcome to my world. I send all the hugs and love I can. Cody says, as a driver, finding those pics feels so good. And then he said, I actually made my livery off of Ryan's idea on his car. Hunt Racing said that that's why I keep mine looking good even when it ain't running good. And that's a whole other thing too is you could be a great driver in a bad visually looking car and it's hard to make that media look sexy. You can if it's really really good driving and they do something exceptional, but you can be a bad driver and a really good looking car and it's really easy to make that look sexy. And I know that like Ryan for example, you learned late something that somebody said to you earlier in your career. You didn't understand what it meant at the time and you wish you had. You want to share that with everybody?
Yeah, yeah. Brian Eggert blessed me with this knowledge. It was my second year at Hyperfest. I qualified 17th. They take the top 16. And he pulled me aside and he was like, your driving's great, but we don't like your car. Bring a newer car. And at that time, I was driving my Z31 and it was like an 88 and everyone else had an 89 240. And I was like, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. I basically was like, I don't even know if I want to continue to do this. And I went and did a bunch of road racing and I kind of circled back to drifting. And now I realized he was saying that my driving was good, but my car wasn't sellable to a crowd. And when you go to do these events, and you want to push yourself to like maybe let's say go do a grid life, they have to be able to sell your car to a spectator who's going to come pay good money to see you drive. So it needs to look a certain way. So everyone that's trying to make that next step, that wants to go do that invite drifting, you got to pay the toll. Like your car can't look like Tow Mater. It's got to be right. And
It makes a
I
difference. And the
Tow
thing is
Mater.
it's not a requirement. It just makes a difference. And that's the hard part, I think, for some.
Yeah. One of the guys that came down, I was talking to him at LS Fest. I was out there a couple years ago, and he said something to me that stuck with me, and I was like, "Whoa!" He said, "If you want to get in, you got to fit in," and I'm like, "Wow, that's bold, but that's the honest truth." And is
Yeah.
Mhm.
when we continue to grow our sport, when we go ask Summit or we go ask another track, we want to do an event. If the cars don't look a certain way, we're not going to get the respect that we deserve. Now, we just had an event, 400 cars there, and the sport is growing in a way where we demand some attention, but some of it has to be earned. And I think the look of the field of the cars and having the car look some type of professional is okay. I'm not saying that every car has to have a livery. I actually prefer mine without it. But
yeah,
one whole color, great start.
No, I agree with you. I mean, well, we had this conversation when you went to go get the paint job on the coupe, and the paint job was like $500, and $500 can sound like a lot of money to some people, and it can sound like not so much money to other people. But in the grand scheme of things, an all over paint job for $500 is like a flash in the pan by comparison to what it could cost.
Oh, for sure.
And that whole one color thing makes such a huge difference at all of the tracks, not just one track, not just two tracks, but all of them. I agree with you on the livery. Sometimes I think the liveries are overkill, but there's tracks that require, well, I'll say not tracks. There are events that require the livery. And then when you get to a certain point where you have like sponsorship and stuff, you're almost required to have it on the car because you have to showcase those people.
Yep.
Speaking of sponsors, my car is completely white for 2026. So,
I love that you broke into broadcaster voice for that.
Yeah, my ship box might steer push, but it's one color.
Yeah, and I think that's also part of drifting that we need to focus on. Some people are like, well, I don't want to take that next step. Okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But if you don't progress in the sport and you don't continue to push yourself, what happens is we have drivers, and I'm not going to name names, that have beautiful, well-built, awesome cars that sit in garages because they didn't push themselves to take the next step and to keep it interesting for them. And drifters are like stars. Eventually you burn out because it's like, why am I doing this? So I think it is important to always push yourself out of your comfort zone. Go, I'm going to go sign up for Drift Appalachia this year. I signed up to do Pantera. I'm going to have to re-sign up and try to get to go to Grid Life. You should push yourself to do those things because it'll make a nice difference in what you're doing. And it'll keep you wanting to keep coming back. I think that's something that, Englishtown did a really good job of having run groups and having to push yourself to, get to that next level and continue to level up. And I think that's important.
Yeah, there's multiple tracks that have run groups. And when people from the Northeast-ish area were asking about DOD, and I said, there's no run groups. It's literally you versus you and everybody else. You're forced to level up or don't at DOD. It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Here in Connecticut and New Jersey, like to your point about Club Loose in New Jersey, there's run groups. You have to progress. You have to force yourself to do better. In Connecticut, Lock City, same thing. You're gonna be stuck on the skid pad if you don't force yourself to level up. You won't make it to the B group. You won't make it to the A group. You won't be able to go on the other tracks. So yeah.
Ryan, at some point, I also need you to actually give me your schedule next year so that I can put it on my calendar. Just so we're on the same page, sir. Thank you. Love you.
So far, I only picked Grid Life's going back to Watkins Glen, and I love Watkins, so I'm going there. And they're going to go back to Lime Rock, and I would like to go back to Lime Rock.
I haven't been to Watkins Glen yet.
Watkins Glen is awesome. That was my first Grid Life that I went to, and it rained the whole time. I had a great time, but that track is awesome. And I'll probably do LS Fest again. I really like LS Fest. It's a great time. So I'll
Watkins Glen replacing pit race.
Probably.
Is that what it's replacing? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it replaced Road America. They got rid of Road America,
Oh,
which I was surprised by. But yeah, they did. They're not going back there. But
oh,
Watkins
okay.
going to be an actual festival this year, which is going to be pretty cool. The first time I
Oh,
went,
that's cool.
it was just the cars; it wasn't the music, and that's a whole fun weekend when you get to mix the two together. I really like that.
Mm,
Okay.
that's
I'm going to
cool.
go back to comments real quick because I've missed a lot. See, where are we? Maddie said I took pictures of Matt's car, and when he saw them, he said my car looks gross. I mean, it's Matt. We're gonna leave it at that. Um, Hunt Racing said I'll run mine clapped out during mid-season, but big events always get the refresh. Ryan does that too. You'll push for a while, and then you're like, oh, we got to go here. I got to do all the things. Let's see. Dan said, that being said, having someone like their photo is a high on my end, which I understand completely. But I think that's part of what goes back to social media is it's like when you're not getting that engagement, it then becomes, okay, have I done something wrong or did I not do enough to get the engagement? Because there are times, and I'm going to sound like an asshole, there are times where I see some posts and like 100 or 200 people have liked all of the photos. And I'm like, there's no single photo in here I would want to claim as my own. And then I'm like, I'm an asshole. I'm going to scroll to the next thing. So it's just like, it's all about perspective and all about, what everybody views. And you can't please everybody.
Right.
I think. Go ahead.
I think if I could give some tips on media and how to do this, and I know I'm a driver, so I'm not allowed to have an opinion, but when these guys make a collection of cars and like when I have Ignition do something, they do a really good job of this where they put me in with other cars, right? I'm only going to have so many people. If you put a video with just me in it, I'm only going to pull the 2,000-3,000 people are going to see it. But if you put me mixed with Savage, mixed with Cody, mixed with Jay, and you have all these people and you have a collection of different groups that are going to see the same post, I think that works fantastic. And I always
So devil's advocate on that, because of my own experience with media is
get
yes and no. Yes and no is the answer to that, because Final Bout is a prime example of not mixing media, because when you have group style stuff where you have Front Street, Push, Haze, all that sort of stuff, if I mixed all of those together, they would not accept an invite to collab. I have to make sure that the content is only theirs for them to accept it, for it to get pushed to them. Now, if I didn't care about the collab part and I put like everybody in like a short reel, that's one thing. But then that's about the event. That's not about the drivers. So it's a
Yeah.
catch-22 no matter how I go about it, which means
Well,
then you have
it
to do a
depends.
mixed bag.
Right. Well, Brian is just talking about DOD. We're just talking about DOD right now. So like DOD or any grassroots event that's not a team style competition like
Yeah, yeah,
Final
yeah.
Bout, it makes sense to do a whole compilation of various drivers. That's what people want to see. They don't want to see one driver, one car. They want to see everything. But then when you're talking about Final
Sure.
Bout and you're talking about a collab post, 100%, you got to focus on one team only.
But it
You
would be
can't
the
mix
same,
it.
it would be the same thing at Grid Life. So like posting even for Grid Life, if I were just posting Ryan or if there was somebody else in the video with Ryan, I can post Ryan and that person. But if I had a bunch of other like pro drivers, especially, then it becomes this mixed bag of people that may not touch it because there's too many people in it for their social media. So it depends
If
on
they
where
don't
you
have enough
are.
screen time, if they don't have enough screen time in the video, you mean like these pro drivers will say?
Right. So say I have like, Ryan, it looks like you're talking, but I didn't hear a word you said.
the pro guys are going to want to control everything.
That's
Exactly.
yeah, it's whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah. The grassroots, that works. What Ryan's stating, that can work for the
Yeah.
grassroots. Absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Back to comments. Hunt Hunt Racing missed it. He said he's mad he missed it this year. And then keep it up, everyone. I'm out. See you next year. Are you guys going back to Hyperfest this year? I would like to. I think I'm actually going to try to sign up for media for Hyperfest this year. Ryan?
That fun. Media's a lot of fun for that event.
I had a good time.
That Friday, I think. So I don't know if I'm going or Saturday. So I might have to miss that one. Larry's getting married.
Who's getting married?
Larry.
Well, that's important.
That's important. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I got you.
It's still at a racetrack, but yeah. He's getting married
that's
at the
cool. That's awesome.
So
Cody has also signed up for Pantera. And he says Drift Appalachia scares him.
Yeah. It would scare me too.
And then, well, I get that. I mean, Drift Appalachia is set up the way that it is for the experience. So you have to have the experience to have the experience. So I get that. Completely.
Even as an experienced driver, that's some scary shit.
I believe it.
But I feel like they set it up in such a manner, just like every other event, just like DN does, you know, Eggert and all them, just like the US Drift. Like, they're going to try to keep it as safe as possible. They're not going to put you into a ridiculously crazy situation. And on top of that, unlike some other events, there is safety people there. There is the towns behind it. There's, you know, cops there. So if something happens, something goes wrong, God forbid, you know, there's people there. You're not just falling off of a mountain down, you know, and never to be seen again. You know, they've spent a lot of time, and I mean, I don't know how much money they spent, but they've spent a lot of time in organizing and making sure that it's as best as it could possibly be, you know, and still keep to the grass route of, you know, mountain drifting, right? And
I don't know if I feel like it's grassroots anything though. I mean, mainly because of the exclusivity of it, it doesn't feel like grassroots to me. I mean, I guess if you're saying because it's on a road, you know, versus, but I've never really gotten like a grassroots vibe from it because of the exclusivity of it. Yeah, but that's just my perspective on it.
I just mean that it's not a track built.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You're still going on a mountain road. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we should do it on Ryan's road. I think we should just give it a shot and see what happens.
We should.
How far is EMS from your spot there, Ryan?
We'll find somebody.
2 or 3 miles.
That's not bad.
It's the military base. I don't think they'll really do that, but
still not going to do it.
He's done it, I'm sure.
Come on, right?
I did drive the 240 down the road once, and it was for DOD, and we had the car trailered. It was sitting in my driveway. We were getting ready to go. We parked it overnight, and I came out and it had iced that morning. And
oh God!
I think that I could drive the truck and trailer down my driveway, which if you've been to my house, you understand.
It's no.
It's pretty steep.
It's its own route stage. So I unloaded the car off the trailer and we drove the car. It was back when it still had the SR in it. We drove the car down to 50 and then reloaded it on the trailer to get to DOD because the weather was so bad. But that's the only time I've ever really driven the drift car down the road.
Okay. Or at least that we're going to talk about online with witnesses. I got it.
All the rest of that, all the rest of that is in Mexico, not here.
Oh, the convertible saw that road a few times this year. Trust me. The convertible was a lot of fun on that road.
I believe it. All right. Well, do we have any more questions, guys? We're kind of at the hour mark, and normally we probably run this for about 2 hours, but I feel like we covered a lot. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about, like experience-wise, while you were there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the event was staffed really well. It was managed really well. It was planned really well. There was really barely any wait time at any lines. The thing I would say is if you miss DOD, don't miss it next year.
Yeah.
Are we going to
And
shoot?
go ahead.
I was going to say, are we going to shoot for 500 next year? What's
Right.
5. It didn't even feel like 400, quite honestly, you know?
It did not.
No,
No.
like it was just managed so well
Well, it
that
was
you wouldn't even
spread.
know that.
It was also spread across 2 days because we had some people that were only signed up for Saturday and some that were only signed up for Sunday and not for both days.
Yes. Yeah. I believe the first day was 350 drivers. And then we had 50 different drivers show up on Sunday. And I think 350, 400 is probably the right amount of drivers.
Yeah.
I wonder, and maybe I'm wrong, I wonder how many people even know where Potomac Pad is.
They didn't.
So, yeah,
Wow.
when I wandered to find it on my own, I was like, there's a Drift Nirvana sign there, and I remember a gravel road last year, so I'm just gonna go fuck around and find out. So I just went and I was like, all right, we're just gonna, yeah, we'll just follow this road around over here, and I'm gonna find my way to the pad.
Because I do.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Brew and I experienced because I was like, hey, can we go over to Potomac to see Rachel? And he goes, yeah, we can do that. I don't know how to get there exactly, but I think it's over there. And then he goes, where are we supposed to turn?
So I don't know if there was a better way to get there. The only way I knew how to get there was to go over the bridge, take a right, follow that road, and then take that like first left.
That's the safest way to get there because last year we were letting people cross the track from pit out.
Yeah, it becomes a shit show.
But they were pulling out in front of the cars that were coming.
I could see that.
So this year it's like, no, you got to go over the bridge. You got to turn right, go down, you make the left. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, I thought
have more events during the year. People will kind of figure out where it is because I got on Travis Register on this. He got a new car. It made 600 and I don't know, almost 700 horsepower at the tires, and he's driving it on Washington. I'm like, dude, Washington has polished asphalt. Like, that's awful. Get your car off that and take it over to Potomac. And he went over to Potomac. He's like, "Duh, my car is so much better over here." I'm like, "Well, yeah." But I think a lot of people would like it if they knew where it was and knew how to get there. I think having more people use that pad, I think will help cut down on some of the lines on Washington. And I think as they grow, we got to get more people off Shenandoah and over to Jefferson. Jefferson's an awesome track, and we just got to get everyone to the point where we use all of the courses. Because I can tell you, there was never really a line on Summit, Maine, unless there was a crash. I think maybe I sat in was like 10 cars.
Well, I think that Maine scares the shit out of people, though, too.
Well, that's one of the things.
That was
Go ahead.
That was one of the reasons why I wanted to do the pace lap, because I wanted everyone to go see it. Everyone kind of puts it on this pedestal of being super scary. It's actually the best there. It has the best tire walls. It has the most runoff. It has the smoothest runoff.
It does, yeah.
The corners are, they're long, but they're not that complex. You know, I think the biggest problem with drifting is everyone feels like they have to run the whole layout the first time they see it. It's like, dude, the chute is scary for most people. Skip that part.
Yeah.
Do 6, 7, 8, right? If you get to a spot you're uncomfortable, just skip that one part. So I do think that was one of my pushes to get everyone out on the track, you know, first thing to see Summit, Maine. I thought the parade lap was a lot of fun, and I wanted to have something to show the mass amount of cars that were out on the track at one time.
That was a great idea. Great idea.
So,
Somebody, I don't know who it was, had posted a time lapse of all the cars on the track. I was like, holy shit. You just don't
Yeah.
understand the volume of cars it is until you see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I will say, like, from a media perspective for Maine, I shot Maine, I want to say the most because I don't get access to it. Now, I had more access to it when I was there for ASRA because the motorcycles get to use all of Maine. We don't get to use all of Maine. We only get to use a portion of it. And I didn't even know
Mm,
that because I had been on Maine for last year's DOD. ASRA happened this year for me, and then DOD for Maine again. And one of the conversations that I had with everybody is the fact that I get kind of bored. I mean, I've been to every event this year at Summit. So Shenandoah, Washington, Jefferson, I see them every time or every other time that I'm there. So all of my stuff just starts to kind of look the same after a while because there's only certain media spots you can get into. So
mhm.
Maine's great, but then there's so many cars that you miss out on because either people are afraid of Maine, they don't feel like they have enough horsepower for it, or they tried it once, it was scary, they didn't want to go back and do it again, which is fine. All of those things are valid and fair. I'm not giving anybody a hard time. It's just that I think that's what happens with Maine to a point where I couldn't just go hang out on Maine for the day because there were other people that I wanted to see and experience and check out that I wouldn't have gotten because I was on Maine like the majority of the time. But Jefferson's a frustration point for me because for rivals, they open up access to Jefferson, but I can't have access to Jefferson from a media perspective any other time of the year. And I don't like competitions. I don't even want to show up for competitions. They're long and they're exhausting. And there's nothing amazing happening typically, unless, depending on the drivers involved. And the fact that we can have access to it and I witness that, I'm like, excuse me, when do we get that again at a different point in time, boys and girls? I would like to have that. Thank you. Because otherwise, all of your footage looks like everybody else's footage because you can only shoot from one wall. So it just there's always going to be limitations in different places. And we've got a couple of people talking in the comments, and I apologize, guys. I haven't overlooked you, but I'm running my mouth. Looks Saturday, definitely saw some crowds on Washington. Potomac is hard to find. Maddie said herself and her friends had no idea where Potomac was. And then Decar said, I spent the weekend at Potomac. I must have done 100 laps. It was a great
Yeah,
place for my first
we
time
did.
drifting and learning. And
Sunday,
that's
yeah,
exactly
Sunday,
what
him
we
and
want to
I.
hear.
well,
Yeah,
then
Sunday, Dan and I had gone over to Potomac first thing. We were literally hot lapping it. There was 3 cars, him, me, and one other person. Nobody was over there. We were just literally just kept going
Yeah,
nonstop.
That's awesome.
oh,
Yeah,
then that means all the grumbling's worth it. So, like I said,
yeah,
I think that's going to be a really nice addition to Drift Nirvana this year, having the pad and being able to,
absolutely.
because I think it's necessary, and I think the skills that you learn on that skid pad are
hmm
gonna lay onto having the what's the word I'm looking for? I guess the willingness to go out and send it on
Confidence.
the confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
confidence. Yeah,
My car's too slow for Maine. I don't know the driver. I saw the video. I've watched it 10 times. Stock Miata, tan top, white car, throwing huge
uh,
backies. So
huge.
I want everyone that
Saw
So
that.
say,
a
oh,
little bit of background, on that one. I was over there with Wes for a hot minute, another media guy, and he was intentionally looking for this particular Miata because he likes to shoot Miatas because he drives one. And I'm gonna say the kid in the white Miata because he's 18 and his background is sim driving, so he just hopped in and made backies look like they were fucking easy.
yep.
I know.
you know?
Stock
And
horsepower. If stock horsepower Miata can go on that track, anybody can.
anybody
Yep.
needs a reality slap, find that video, watch it for like a half hour like I did, because that's all you need.
Do you guys need your trailer or park next to it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll be back.
All right. Bye. I'm still. I'm still unloading cars. So that is our.
That's all right. The two place is still loaded. We haven't unloaded it, so.
Yeah,
I get it. Cody said that a lot of people wrecked on Jefferson this year. I think there's a lot of wrecks in general everywhere when you have that many people driving and they're just lapping it and lapping it and lapping it, and something goes wrong with the car or something just doesn't go properly. Because I mean, how many times do you hear somebody go, "I was doing the thing, but it kept going straight," you know?
Yeah.
So it happens, because there were several people who wiped out in the same spot on pistol grip too. So I think everybody's skill level is different for
you
sure.
run out of tire, right? And you think you can get one more lap on those tires, and that's
Uh-huh.
usually when things go south.
Yep.
Or you run out of talent. So you know,
I think
one or the other, a little both maybe.
You know, we discussed this before, and I don't know if it's something that I have the power to change. If it were up to me, I would change it. You know, DOD is the only weekend we don't do a lunch break, and I want to push to have a true lunch break, because what we do is we
Great.
cut 2 tracks down, we leave 2 tracks open, and what ends up happening is no one stops to take care of themselves. And
Yep.
No, I was so dehydrated, it was terrible.
I
So
made Brew and I
bad.
stop. We
So
stopped at
bad.
noon both days to eat and take a minute. We
I
both look at each other
barely.
like, it's time.
Yeah.
I've been doing this my whole life. I'm guilty of it. My dad grabbed me on Sunday, like 3:00. He's like, "Did you eat lunch?" No. So I might push to have a real lunch break if people didn't grumble about it too.
I think we should.
What it does is everyone goes, "Well, the lines are really long." Well, yeah, 3/4 of the facility is closed. Everyone's on Washington and Shenandoah right now because Maine is closed and Potomac is Jefferson's closed. So we create.
I don't think it would be bad. Yeah.
Peak hours for the track because everyone's trying to get 350 cars onto 2 courses that are left open. Right.
Right.
So
Yep.
I do think we do have a lot of crashes for DOD, and I think if we did stop for a real lunch break and we force people to, hey, let's
take that break.
Take a minute.
Let's take a minute. Let's get that bottle of water. Let's get that Gatorade. Let's get lunch.
Yeah, get that food. Yep.
I think
and check the car even, because that's the other thing is like everybody gets to ripping and running until they need new tires. They don't stop to check on the car sometimes.
No.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think there should be a lunch break. Just like shut it down for an hour, just across the map. Just shut it down.
And we got a lot of grief about our schedule for that, because it was originally gonna be we were gonna shut down, and we're gonna go back to our tradition of not having a lunch, because it is different, but I'm not sure if it's productive. It might be counterproductive for the day, because yes,
that's fair.
Whoever said that we had some crashes, we had some crashes. We definitely had that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
there's say Matt and Ethan love to drive both Jefferson and Maine, but they aren't open super often. Yeah, well, in Jefferson we only get when we have Washington, right? We don't usually get Jefferson if we have Shenandoah, because Shenandoah we get pistol grip, like we get the whole Shenandoah, or we get Washington and Jefferson together.
It's usually like 2 days a year, right? That we do Jefferson.
Yeah, I think one of rivals, and then there's like a weekend that leads up before it. That's an open day. So yeah. And again, I will say this: I the track is going to do things that is good for the track. So when we have Jefferson's days, we don't have the turnout necessary to continue to go, oh, we need more Jefferson days. We're not selling out at a Jefferson day. We're selling out on a Washington day or a Shenandoah day. So
yeah, well, and Cody said one of the Jefferson days is rivals, and I think there was confusion with rivals this year, because the way the information came out was as if you could only show up if you were doing the competition, and that Washington and everything like wouldn't be open, or you couldn't run Jefferson as well. But everything was open like throughout the whole day. But I don't think anybody knew that was actually happening to where they could just go drift regardless of whether they wanted to be in the comp or not. So I think there was a little bit of confusion on how that information was delivered. And that probably affected numbers as well too, because I think you would have had more people who wanted to just drive versus being in the competition. Competitions are hit or miss at every track that I've been to. They're either super big or it's kind of meh. There doesn't seem to be any in between.
I think that track, if it were up to me, is a pretty tough one to have a comp on. And I also think that they do it on the same weekend as LS Fest. So 50
Yeah,
cars from the East Coast that happen to be fully tandem ready that are going to go battle, they're automatically already yanked from that weekend. So
sure.
I've missed Rivals the last 2 years because of that.
Yeah, I wish I had gone to LS Fest with you, but I hadn't been to Rivals yet, which was one of the reasons that I went on ahead and went to it this year, because I didn't go to it the year before. So I didn't actually know what to expect because I had never been to one. And Maroon Cody, how many drivers show
Just
up
call
for
him
regular?
CT Cody.
Okay, CT Cody, how many drivers show up for the regular events, and do events sell out?
Washington, I do believe, hit the cap this year, and we uncapped it just to try to get everyone in. I believe that was this year, right? It was like a madhouse this year for Washington. Normally, I think you're going to have somewhere between 70 to 100 cars for an event. I feel like that's fair. Does that sound right, Brian?
Sounds about right. Yeah, yeah.
So, just DOD where it's wild like this. I think Fainer Fright had 86 cars this year, I think.
Which was down from last year, but because there were so many events that weekend, there were probably a good 6 different events that weekend.
There was 5 events within 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
absolutely.
Such a terrible problem to have, y'all.
So
Yeah,
many choices.
Cody said, Dawn got to see me chase cones at Rivals. The amount of cones that got eaten at Rivals was crazy. And there was one particular cone, the poor guy that got, and I can't think of his name. He wasn't one of our regulars, corner workers. He's one of the traveling ones. This poor guy kept having to get out of his little hut there to go out and grab the cone. I'm like, dude, at any point in time, we're younger than you. We can go get it. I promise. He goes, yeah, but I'm not supposed to let you. And I was like, okay. I was like, can we put the cone somewhere else? They'll quit eating it. Because it was like every time somebody went, somebody took the cone down in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Like I said, that's a tough track to do a battle on. And I feel like the guys that do come up and do it, like, good on you, because the level of commitment you have to make Jefferson work, and then to want and put it in someone's door while you're doing that is
yeah.
But I also think that hurts the number of entries. So we had a Rivals on Washington, and it was like 38 cars, which was crazy.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I don't know what they're going to do with that. So
okay. Cody would like to know, why isn't Drift HQ a part of FOF anymore, which is Fainer Fright?
I don't think there is a reason they're not. I just think obviously I can't speak for Drift HQ, but I would assume they do so much stuff with their other invitational stuff that they're doing throughout the year, which they didn't used to do, that we probably get, our event's not as important as what he's doing in England.
Sure.
Or what he's doing. You know what I mean? So I think
CT Cody says Rivals on Washington sounds awesome.
That's what I say, but nobody listens to me.
You're just a guy.
I mean, we do. We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listen from time to time.
No. I talked to Dorte this winter, trying to get him out to go DOD. They want to come back. I don't know if they'll come back for Fainer Fright, but they want to come back for DOD. So eventually you will
Awesome.
back. I always invite them. And I think the year before they wanted to, and they had bad weather. They had a hurricane come in. So if this, I think they're just by the end of the year they're done with drifting, which I feel like most people are.
Sure.
But
Well, and I think the other tough part about DOD is the time of year. I mean, we were all checking the weather like up until we were walking out the door between snow, 30-degree temperatures, I have considered staying home, I'm not gonna lie. Like
I don't
I love
care
all
about
of you, but my house is nice and warm.
the temps. I don't care about, but the snow for the travel coming from like Connecticut down, I kept an eye on that because I was
Sure.
like, if it's going to be snow, during our travel, we were gonna pull the cord on the event, and none of us were gonna come
Sure.
down. So, um, yeah, we always watch the weather, obviously, for those reasons. But the cold
and
is fine.
the weather affected our car count. I think somewhere in the 30 to 40 range bailed because the weather
Yeah,
was
Okay.
no, like
Yeah.
right up until the day of it was saying no.
Yeah.
yeah.
A-
It's supposed to be like a couple inches or something, I think,
And in Loudoun County,
on Saturday.
it did snow at my work, but it didn't really snow much at Summit.
It snowed way more at my house than it did at Summit.
That was
So-
an
And
inch.
yeah. And then
I
Maddie
was all
said
about
something
snow drifting. I was hoping it was going to snow Saturday at the track. I was like, that's my ticket right there. That's my ticket. Snow drifting.
Maddie brought up something that has been brought up before, like in conversation with me from other people, but she said this might sound rude, but the car show at FOF just feels like they're in the way. And Cody said, I agree, and they don't intermingle with the drivers. He said he tried talking to a few of them about their cars, and they just brushed me off. And she
Well,
says, I
the
agree, they
car
just
show,
stay to themselves.
the car show culture is interesting. That's all I'm
It's
going to say.
different. Yeah, it's different for
It's
sure.
not it's clicky. It's not an open vibe like drifting is.
It's fair.
Yeah, they're definitely different. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, I could definitely hear that, but I think they've only had 2 years at it, so I think they're growing with us. I actually really like those guys. They had almost more car show cars than we had drift cars. So respect on all those Capital Mischief guys for doing all that stuff because
Sure.
it definitely adds another layer to our event. But I could see where those guys would be standoffish. They're their own little clique for sure. But so are the drifters. We're just as bad.
Well, yeah, and I think it's pretty common across the board. I mean, even Dominion is trying to kind of do the same thing where they're having the drifting happen, but they've got like a car show involved as well too. And that one is like parking lot filler and something else. I don't think that one's Capital Mischief though. That's something else. Um, and I think there's different types of people for those two things, which is part of it too. Even though yes, it's clicky, but I'm not a car show girl. I don't want to go stare at somebody's car sitting in the parking lot or take photos of a car sitting in a parking lot next to another car that I don't want to photograph. So I'll go do a loop and then I'm done. I'm not standing there talking about like the technical specs of the car and all those things because I don't care. I'll tell you if your car's pretty, but like that's the extent of it, from my perspective. I
Yeah.
want to see the actionable thing happen. And it's funny because I've bumped into people out in the wild with really cool cars. And I'm like, oh, that your car looks great. Do you actually do anything with it? And I'll catch myself asking the question.
Yeah.
But the reality is some cars are just meant to be pretty, even if they're
And
tech
that's it.
specced out. And
Yeah.
that's it. Because they just wanted to do the thing and have the thing. They didn't actually want to do something with the thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Maddie, we hear you. Hi, making moves. Yeah, clean culture. Well, I mean, we have clean culture issues even. Oh yeah, clean culture was the one at Dominion. I mean, we have clean culture issues even with drifting because we've got the whole takeover thing. But all right, if we're done, Hugs, love, and other stuff.
I'm
Because
done.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
That's good because I've been like yawning behind my cup and my eyes have been tearing for like the last half hour. So yep. I'm trying to get 4
Yeah,
hours of sleep before I get on the plane to PRI.
Oh
I
yeah.
know that's a whole other adventure. And Paul Moxie's point is most events tag on car shows to help with event costs because their spectator tickets go up when they have the car show because people show up for the car show.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
a lot of times why we see that happening.
I
Are
gotcha.
you doing the 2-day event at Dominion in July? I thought it was in August, but I could be wrong, Maddie. But yes, I've already talked to Thomas over at Dominion. I should be there for that. Okay. I love you guys. Mwah. Thank you for joining us as always. You're amazing humans, and I appreciate everybody on my screen.
Yes. Thanks for
Love you
joining,
too.
guys. See ya.
Everybody have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. We are offline. We are ending the stream. Did it end yet?
Bye.
Try.